Hey everybody, Brian Von VA here, back at it again. This time we have a story that is actually really cutely titled, Of Frogs and Fools. I'm playing in another 5th edition game, a new campaign with a small group of outcasts, a halfling rogue and a dragonborn barbarian. The group decides that magic is for sissies, and the party is of questionable morality, so I get the okay for something more exotic. Enter Bang Rang the Grung Shadow Monk. The 2 feet tall, 20 pounds of froggy fury on a secret mission from his tribe to infiltrate and scout out the outside world. He's lawfully evil, but nobody has any idea, but I didn't realize until after a character creation that Grung didn't speak Common. Bang only knows Grung, and Dark Elf Silent. So basically, Bang has absolutely no idea what any of the quests are or what the party is doing. He just sits in his bucket and waits to be unleashed on the enemy. Bang wields a mighty river reed spear, which functions as his spear, a blowgun, and a racial instrument, the whistle stick. He threads his blow darts into his skin to poison them and carry them around. His only other possession is a bucket for the barbarian to carry him in, since he needs water to live. He has poison skin, so his spear and darts can do poison damage, and any physical contact with his skin can do poison damage and cause the poison status. This includes kicks to the face. He also can't tell the party not to touch him, since he doesn't speak any common languages with the party. They have no idea what he is, what he does, where he's from, or why he's here. All they know is that they found him by the river eating bugs, and he gives them a blank stare when they try to tell him anything. The rogue names him Mr. Froggy. The party is hunting down a group of goblins and bugbears that kidnapped a blacksmith's daughter. The rogue and frog sneak ahead to scout. Bang uses his frog powers to jump 25 feet at a time and stick to trees. DM lets the blowgun darts do regular damage due to giant inflatable cheek pouches. We pick off the watch goblins with arrows and blow darts. The Dragonborn thinks sneaking is for cowards and charges in, like barbarians do. Meanwhile, Bang is jumping from treetop to treetop like Naruto wishes he could, stabbing goblins in the head with his spear, then jumping away. The barbarian knocks down Bugbear Chief with a heavy blow, so Bang flies out of a tree to get him while he's down. More bugbears run into a cave. We run inside after them. Bang jumps straight up and sticks to the ceiling of the cave and fights upside down for the entire encounter. The whole party nearly dies, but Bang manages to finish off the last bugbear with a froggy karate kick to the face. He drops down to the floor and shakes his spear over his head with a shrill victory croak. The Dragonborn says Bang isn't bad for a frog. Bang just stares at him blankly. Ribbit. The Dragonborn laughs and slaps Bang on the back. Nearly knocks Bang out, but he passes the poison save, so the Dragonborn still has no idea the frog is poisonous. We return to town with the blacksmith's daughter and level up. Bang takes a level in Rogue so he can communicate with the halfling and thieves can't. It takes a long time, but it gets the point across. Although we soon realize the flaw of sharing a language that is 50% secret handshakes with the poison frog. Halfling has to take a break after every exchange so the poison can wear off. Bang settles for drawing symbols in the dirt with his stick most of the time. We hear about a bugbear infestation in a nearby cave and decide to rest in the village for a bit and shop around for magic items. Bang gets lucky and finds the only 2 items in the world he needs for sale. The shopkeeper stares as a large frog hops into his magic store, dumps a large pile of gold and weapons on his counter, takes a ring and a jug worth 1/4 of the pile, and leaves. The 2 things he bought were an alchemy jug for a nice place to sleep with a constant supply of fresh water, among other things, and a ring of jumping so that Bang can jump 75 feet from a sitting position or 45 feet vertically. Flight is for the weak. The DM makes the horrible mistake of pointing out a jewelry store. The halfling doesn't see a good way to rob it and doesn't want to anger the locals. However, while Bang may have no concept of money, he does like shiny rocks. Prepare the ultimate heist. Bang jumps onto the roof and checks all the windows. No good way in without alerting the 2 apprentice shopkeepers. So he jumps back to the front of the building and sits in front of the entry door. singing the song of his people as loudly as possible. 5 minutes later, one of the shopkeepers comes out and sees a big frog screaming its head off. He picks it up and decides to take it back to the river across the street. Shopkeeper fails his poison check right as he reaches the bridge and suddenly doesn't feel too good. Bang makes sure nobody is looking before helping him out with 2 frog kicks directly to the face, knocks him out, and jumps back to the shop in a single bound. Bang starts croaking again. This time the second shopkeeper thinks something is up and takes a swing at the frog with a sword. He misses and gets frog kicked in the face. Bang hops into the shop and finds a large gemstone in a glass case. Figures he'll try to use his newly acquired thieves' tools to pick the lock. Nat 1 and breaks the lock picks. Ribbit Kid ends up using random twigs and his sticky frog tongue to pick the lock. He slowly opens the case and grabs the gemstone with his tongue, then hops out the window and recovers his alchemy jug from the woods. He chooses mayonnaise as the daily liquid and dumps a gallon of it on each of the KO'd apprentices. He jumps back into the inn as the halfling stares in equal amounts of amazement and horror and asks, "Why the mayo?" DM agrees and asks why Bang's alignment isn't chaotic. So I explained the beauty of it all. The shopkeeper will come to work and see his finest gem is gone. Both of his apprentices have been soaking in the sun covered in mayo for hours. Their excuse will be that a frog kicked their asses. Later that night, we hear screaming from outside the inn. Bang pops his head out of the jug as the halfling throws the door to the inn open. We see goblins burning down the stables across the street. The halfling shoots an arrow and kills one, but the rest turn and blast her with short bows before going back to burning down the stables. Bang hops out of the jug and drags her inside, although the poison from his skin isn't helping her death saves. Force feed her multiple healing potions to get her back up, then he crawls out the window onto the roof. The rogue learns her lesson and takes her shots from the window this time. The barbarian doesn't care and knocks the door down as he charges into them. Bang and the rogue pick them off with darts and arrows, and the dragonborn contributes to the fire with yet more fire. We find out that the goblins are coming from an abandoned dungeon and set off in the morning, with Bang riding on the dragonborn's shoulder. His constitution is so high on him, he passes the save almost every time. When he does fail, he isn't doing any attacks or skill checks, so he still has no idea the frog is poisonous. We get to the dungeon, which is absolutely packed with bugbears and goblins, and slowly grind our way through room by room, nearly getting wiped multiple times. No room to maneuver in the long tunnels, so we just volley what we can before we get in hand-to-hand range. We finally get to the last room. Bang jumps into the middle with flurry of blows, swinging absolutely everywhere like a madman. I proceed to miss half my attacks for the next 8 rounds. However, the bugbears keep getting poisoned, so they keep missing too. Everyone flails around in a clusterfuck for about an hour. The dragonborn and halfling are both KO'd, and there's one bugbear left. Bang jumps out of the room and down the hall, getting chased through the dungeon by a very angry bugbear. Bang loops around back into the room with the KO'd party and perches on the far wall. As the bugbear comes barreling around the corner on the long end of the hall, Bang fires off the wall like a dart and nails him with the spear in the chest after a 60-foot jump. Bang screeches loudly and waves his spear in the air with 3 hit points left. The dragonborn pulls himself off the ground and cheers, slapping the frog on the back as he walks by. Knocks the frog out, also hits a skin dart, fails the poison save, and dies. Wow, I did not see that end coming, but I should have a mile away. Brian Von VA here, everybody. Thank you guys and gals for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and to ring that bell to get notified whenever we post or if we end up going live on this channel too. And make sure to check out our main channel, MrRipper, and if you have a story to submit to us, do so on r/MrRipper. Links will be in the description below. And lastly, if you want to come check out me, Brian Von VA, on YouTube and Twitch, then do so. Links are probably going to be in there somewhere. And of course, as always, please be happy and be healthy as best as you can. The world's on fire, it's a crazy, crazy time, but you can always control what you do. Try a new hobby, get out of your mind a little bit, go outside and breathe the fresh autumn air, and above all else, make sure to stay hydrated and safe. All the love, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.